Welcome to Top 10 Cars Club channel. In this video, we are going to talk about Lamborghini Assembly inside the factory. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. I believe telling a travel blogger or vlogger that photography is strictly forbidden, and that they must lock their camera and phones up in a locker has the potential to be devastating. However, when this news was delivered to us just before our Lamborghini factory tour, it actually added an element of mystery to the excitement. It was also momentarily freeing to lock away our backpacks, cameras and phones, and to set off on what felt like a top-secret factory tour of one of the world's most coveted car brands. In this post I'm going to explain in much detail as possible what it's like to do the factory tour, and then visit the amazing Lamborghini Motor Museum on the same site in Sant'Agata Bolognese. Can anyone do a Lamborghini factory tour? Yes, anyone can do a factory tour as long as you show up, when the factory is in operation and during factory operating hours, of course. It's best to book your tour online as it can get booked out during busy periods. The tour includes museum entry and full guided tour of the factory, and assembly lines cost €75 per person. What's the factory tour really like? As someone who isn't exactly a massive sports car fan, and knows nothing about engines nor twin-turbo anythings, I was surprised how interesting I found the tour, and how much I learned over the course of one short hour. We started at the impressive factory entrance, that has small replicas of the three Lamborghini cars, currently in production at the factory, the Aventador, the Huracan and Urus. Once you step inside the factory, it's a hub of activity, and any true car fans will no doubt be on an alternate state of happiness at seeing endless Aventadors on the production line. It's honestly an incredible sight seeing almost a dozen dreamy sports cars, lined up one after the other, all painted in custom colors and with customized seats, logos, and stitching all being worked on at different workstations but all on one moving line. We were told that the factory assembles 13 Aventador cars each day, and that each car spends exactly 35 minutes in each workstation, before moving along to the next station, sort of like a huge version of sushi dishes moving around a restaurant conveyor belt. The first station attached the frame of the car to the engine, for example, and as the car moves from station to station, it starts to take form, a roof is added, seats that have been perfectly upholstered are added, steering wheel, mirrors, bumpers and of course many layers of paint. Touring the Lamborghini Museum, once the factory tour is over, you can return to the museum, grab your phone and camera, and continue the tour of the museum. Your guide will tell you a little about the life of Ferruccio Lamborghini, why he started the company and how he made his fortune, before the cars, as well as giving you information about all the cars on display, and how much they're all worth. Upstairs you can see examples of all 4 cars currently in production, as well as one prototype car, and you can also do a fun simulator activity, where you're strapped into a Reed Lamborghini car seat and get to drive it around a virtual track, until you'll crash, which is what happened to all of us in less than 2 minutes. If you're a big Lamborghini fan, you will love the museum part of the tour. So many beautiful cars, vintage classics, one-offs and lots about the history of the company. Plus, of course, lots of fun photo opportunities. As we walked on, watching all the men, and many women, to be fair, hard to work in their neat Lamborghini uniforms, we came to the Huracan assembly line, which is identical to the Aventador, except these cars are about €100,000 more expensive and thus take longer to assemble. Here, the cars remains at each workstation for 100 minutes, so almost 3 times as long as the Aventador. Only 4.5 Huracan cars are made each day, so just 22 cars a week. Each and every car that is assembled here has already been sold. Each car is made to order and buyers can customize almost everything and anything about the car. There are over 200 coolers of paint, different types of fabric, threads and stitching. Some customers even choose to have a custom picture, for example, of the dog's face stitched onto the back of the headrests. Something that will set you back a few extra €1,000. Every 35 minutes for the Aventador line, a car will be finished, and will be driven away from the assembly line to be thoroughly tested. Every single car is also tested on the roads in Sant'Agata, before being shipped to its new owner to ensure perfection and 0 problems present. How to get to Lamborghini Museum? The Lamborghini Museum and factory are only about 30 minutes from the city of Bologna. It's best to drive yourself if you have a rental car, or take an organized tour. Alternatively, you can take public transport to Sant'Agata and walk to the factory from the bus stop. The museum is actually very close to the airport, so you could take a taxi direct from the airport and do a tour, or else drop in before flying out of Bologna Airport and heading home. If you're coming from another city in Italy, it's also accessible by public transport. For example, there's a train that runs from Venice to Bologna, and stops at a station just a short 15 minutes walk from the factory. Now we will talk about the Lamborghini Assembly. Every single Lamborghini vehicle built at the company's 2 factories, the only Lamborghini factories in the world, is pre-sold. Lamborghini dealerships own the vehicles seen in showrooms, and if you want one, be prepared to wait 6 to 12 months. With the Urus, the company's $200,000 SUV, that debuted earlier this year, the wait time is closer to 2 years. About 1,800 people are employed at Lamborghini's headquarters, and 300 workers are dedicated to building the vehicles on the 24-station assembly line. In one massive factory, men and women quietly and efficiently assemble the $200,000 Lamborghini V10 Huracan, the company's top seller, and the V12 Aventador, its sportier $400,000 coupe. It's clear that the workers take great pride in what they do. 13 Huracans are completed each day compared to 6 Aventadors, which are highly customizable and take longer to finish because the entire chassis is made of carbon fiber. 1 to 3 workers, depending on the station, spend about 30 minutes on a single task before the car moves to the next stop. There is one robot in the entire factory, playfully nicknamed Robert. Its sole job is to move the 300 kilos engine around the sparkling floor, to the mechanics who will fastidiously place it inside the chassis. In 2017, the House of the Raging Bull delivered 3,815 cars globally, with the largest percentage of cars going to the top 2 markets, the US and Japan. Lamborghini hopes to double its output by 2019 with the Urus, which is manufactured at a brand new factory a short walk away. 5 Urus units are completed each day, though that number will soon increase to 20. Lamborghini owners are invited to visit the factory to watch their car be transformed from a metal skeleton to street speed demon. Seeing the craftsmanship applied to these elite and inimitable vehicles can only be described as stupefying. ABC News got a peek inside. There are only 2 Lamborghini factories in the world. Both are located at the company's headquarters in Sant'Agata Bolognese, Italy. The exterior shell of the Huracan, Lamborghini's most popular model. The Lamborghini factory produces 6 Aventadors each day. The supercar starts at $400,000. The worker will inspect 40 cowhides per day, checking the leather for any imperfections. Cowhides ready to be inspected. A machine will cut out the defects and the remaining pieces will be sewn together. It takes about 2 days to produce a car at the factory. All the leather is hand-stitched by a team of seamstresses. The seats are the most customizable part of the car, because of the colors, crest and type of stitching. Lamborghini built a second factory last summer for production of the Urus, its new SUV. Deliveries of the Urus begin in the fall. The $200,000 Urus has the largest carbon fiber brakes in the entire industry. Professional drivers test each Lamborghini on local roads before they're shipped to customers. The cars are tested for 8 days. What do you think of our video? Share your experience if you ever visited the Lamborghini factory, and let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.